Hello students. So students, in the previous class, in the chapter that is motion and measurement of distances, we had discussed the different types of the motion, and we have seen the four types of a motion, student, including the rectilinear motion, circular motion is there, periodic motion is there, and rotational motion is also there. So if we talk about the circular motion, if we talk about the rectilinear motion, so it is a type of a motion in which the object used to move on a straight path. If we talk about the circular motion, so circular motion is that motion in which an object moves around a circle, if it is moving in a circle. So such kind of a motion is the circular motion. If we talk about the periodic motion, so if an object keeps on repeating its motion after a period of a time or in a certain regular interval of a time, such kind of a motion is a periodic motion. And rotational motion is the motion in which an object is moving or spinning on its own axis, that is called as the rotational movement. Okay, so these are the three different types of motions are there that we have seen. Okay, and we have seen the different examples including the simple pendulum. We have understood in the last class what is a simple pendulum and how it used to show the movement, that is periodic motion. As well as we have seen the examples like that of a musical instrument which used to move to and fro. So back and forth and to and fro motion is the example of a periodic motion, and if it is moving on its own axis, that is a kind of a rotational motion. We have also seen that what is the basic difference between that of the circular motion and rotational motion. In a circular motion, if an object is moving around another object in a circle, that is a circular motion. But if an object is moving on its own axis in circle, that is known as the rotational motion. You can understand by this that if an object is, if a earth is there and it is rotating on its surface, that is the rotational motion. And if it is revolving around the sun, that is a circular motion. So this is the basic difference between that of the rotation and the circular motion. Now let us see that, okay, we have seen that there are a lot of examples which proves that the object can have a different kind of a motion. But is it that every object is having a particular type of a motion? No. An object can show more than a one type of a motion also. So let us see a few examples of that. So objects having more than one type of motion. The object having more than one type of a motion that we are going to see here. Example is Earth. We will start with the first example, that is Earth. Now you see what are the different kind of a motion is shown by Earth. So the first thing that Earth used to rotate on its own axis, and since it is showing the motion in which it is rotating on its own action or on its own axis, so such kind of a motion, such kind of a movement is what that is comes in a rotational motion. So the first thing that we can write that Earth shows a rotational motion. Okay, Earth shows the rotational motion. This is the first point. The first type of a motion shown by that of the Earth. The second type of a motion shown by the Earth is that it not only moves on its own axis, but it used to revolve around the sun. So if this is the sun and this is an orbit around which the Earth is rotating, so Earth is rotating on its own axis as well as it is moving along this circle. So since it is moving along this circle, so it is showing the another kind of a motion also, which is called as the circular motion. So along with that of the rotational motion, Earth shows the circular motion also. So we can write it that Earth shows circular motion. Okay, so rotational motion is shown by them as well as the circular motion. Is any other motion also? Yes. See, if it is moving in a circle, I said that if this is a sun and earth is rotating around it. So if it is moving, then at first it just started from here, then it just starts moving through this whole path and finally come back to this place. Or you will say that if you will take this point, that earth after moving, it reaches to this point. So after a period of a time, again it will move, complete the circle and finally come to the same position. So here you can take any of the position, you will find that earth keeps on coming on the same position again and again. So it keeps on repeating its motion after a period of a time, and thus we will also call that it is showing the periodic motion. Okay, so earth shows periodic motion. Okay, so these are the three types of a motion which is shown by the earth itself. So you can see that one object is showing the three different types of a motion. Can be rotational, can be circular, can be a periodic motion. Okay, so earth is showing all these three different kind of a motion. Now the next one is a bicycle. Bicycle is there. So, if a bicycle is moving on a straight road, so if it is moving on a straight path, the kind of a motion it is showing is a rectilinear motion, because we know that the rectilinear motion is a motion in which the object used to move on a straight line or a straight path. So if a bicycle is moving on a straight path, we will say that it is showing the rectilinear motion. So the first type of a motion is that on straight path. On straight path, it is showing rectilinear motion. The second type of a motion is the movement of the wheel. The bicycle wheel, it also keeps on moving, and this movement occurs on the same axis. So, since it is moving on the same axis, so such kind of a motion is the rotational motion. So, we will also say that not only the rectilinear motion, but it also shows the rotational motion. So, we can write it that. So, the two different kind of a motion which is shown by the bicycle is the rotational and rectilinear motion. Okay, so this is the second example which we can say that the object is showing more than one type of a motion. The other that we can take here, student, is a merry-go-round. You have seen this is a swinging in which the merry-go-round is what's a kind of a swing basically, and there the kids or the people, they used to enjoy it. So it used to move in a circle. Okay, so merry-go-round. So, you see, students, that this giant wheel, it used to move on its own axis, because a center is there and it used to rotate around it. Okay, on this center, this all are attached and it used to rotate around it, right? So, this is an axis which keeps on rotating, and due to which the swing, this merry-go-round as a whole, it used to move in a circle. So the first kind of a motion it is that since it is rotating on its own axis, so the kind of a motion which is shown by merry-go-round, it will be a rotational motion. So we can write it that since it is moving on its axis, so we can say it is showing rotational motion. Showing rotational motion. So the first kind of a motion is the rotational motion, student. Then, so the first kind of a motion which is shown by it will be a rotational motion. Then the second kind of a motion, because it is moving in a circle, you see that it is showing the rotational motion as well as since it is moving in a circle, so we will say that it is showing the circular motion also. Okay, so not only this, but it is also, so it is also showing the circular motion. Okay, so it is also showing the circular motion. So we can say that it used to rotate on its axis as well as since it is moving in a circle. So the kind of a motion it is showing, it is a circular motion, students. Okay, so these are this is the different kind of a motion shown by that of the by the merry-go-round. If with this, students, we can take another example, and that is swing machine. So swing machine is what? It also shows it helps in stitching that of the clothes. Okay. So swing machine. So here it is also showing the kind of a motion, and that is since it is rotating. If you see the wheel, student, of a sewing machine, you will find that it is rotating on an axis. So the kind of a motion which is shown by the wheel of this machine, that will be a rotational motion. And since that process, if you see the needle also, students, so while rotating, the needle used to go up and down. So we can say that this is what it is, a kind of a periodic motion. Even when the wheel is moving, that will also showing a periodic motion. Okay, so the first thing, sewing machine, the wheel of the machine. You know that this machine is used for stitching the clothes. So the wheel of the sewing machine is used to have a rotational motion. Why it is having rotational motion? Because that wheel which is moving, it is moving on an axis. So since it is moving on its axis, that comes in the rotational motion. So we will use the term that it is a rotational motion. The second kind of a motion is shown by the needle. When you move the wheel, what will happen? The needle used to go up and down. So since it is moving to and fro, so keeps on repeating the process again and again, keeps on repeating the motion again and again, and thus we will say the kind of a motion shown by the needle is a periodic motion. Okay, so the needle shows the periodic motion. So the kind of a motion which is shown by that of a spinning machine is a rotational motion as well as the periodic motion. So these are the different kind of a motion shown by a machine, students. Okay, so you can understand by this that the different types of a motion shown by a different object, and there are objects which used to show both kind of a, means both the motions or more than a one kind of a motion. It can be three, it can be rotational, circular, as well as the periodic motion. It can be periodic or that of the rotational. It can be rectilinear or circular. So it totally depends upon the movement of the object, that what are the different kind of motion is shown by them. This is only the 4 example, students. You can take any of the example of a moving body, and you can by that you can conclude, you can see that what kind of a motion is shown by that particular object. Okay, so this was about the different types of the motion. Moving on and see, we have understood the types of motion. Now we will try to understand that of the distances. Okay, now see here. So motion, from this chapter, motion is understood. Now we have to see the measurement. So for that, first of all, we will write here distance, and because if we talk about the measurement of distances, so we should know the meaning of the distance, what do we understand by the distance, and what do we understand by the measurement, because the measurement of distance is there. So distance and measurement, that we should know first, and then we will move on and see that how can we find the measurement of any object. Okay, so first of all, we will write the definition of the distance. So distance is what? The length of the two objects, means the space between the 2 points is called as a distance. Okay, so the length of the space between 2 points or 2 places is called as distance. Okay, so length of the space between 2 points or 2 places is called as a distance, students. Okay. Now we can understand this, that if suppose a person is living in a Delhi and a person is living in that of the Maharashtra or Mumbai or Maharashtra, then so the distance between these 2 places, what it is, the point from this to this. So we can say the length between these 2 is the distance. Okay, so whenever we use the term that we are going from one place to another, we always say that the distance between the 2 points is this. It means the length between the 2 points is this. Okay, so we can say that 2 points, whether it can be anything, if the length between the 2 points is something, that we will call, that we will measure with the distance here. So this is the definition of that of the distance, that is the length of the space between the 2 places called distance. Now if we look at that of the measurement, student, so what is a measurement? So measurement is a measurement, student, it is a process. It means it is a standard thing that we can. Measurement is what, student? We can say that it is a method, it is a process by which we used to comprise an object with a standard unit, that is called as a measurement. Or we can say it is a process of comprising that of any object into a standard unit of measurement, that we will include into the, that we will say is the measurement only. I'll tell you about it. Like, suppose first of all we will write here that it is a process of comprising an object with a standard units of measurement. Okay, It is the process of comprising an object with a standard unit of a measurement that we call as a measurement. If suppose we have to measure a length of an object, a distance of an object, so we will use a standard unit, and that standard unit is a meter. Okay. So the standard unit that we are talking about of length is called meter. Okay, standard unit of the length is called a meter. Now the question is that why there is a need of a standard unit? We are comprising an object, its length is measurement, but what is the need of this measurement? Why it is necessary to measure anything? So simply you see that the reason of measuring anything to a standard unit, because before that we use a different kind of a method, different kind of a unit to measure the length of an object. Like we use hand span. What is a hand span? Hand span is this. Means we used to keep an object, okay, and with the help of our hand we used to measure the length of the object. Likewise, leg span is also there, by which a person is able to measure the distances, as well as a forearm length. So the people, they use the forearm length to measure it, a foot step. So these all are, boy student, these are basically the method that was traditionally used to measure anything. But it means at every region, at every place, people use the different kind of a thing to measure. Now, you know that it is a foot step or forearm or a hand span. So these all are not a standard unit, because it varies from person to person. So ultimately the measurement that came out of an object will also differ, and this is because of that there is a need of a standard unit which is common to every place throughout the world. As such kind of a unit which is common, which is constant throughout the places, that is called as the standard unit. And since we are using to measuring anything, that we call as the standard unit of measurement. So if suppose the question is asked that why there is a need of a standard unit, need of use of standard unit. So earlier we use a variety of object to measure the length of an object. Okay, measure the length of an object. Okay, so what are the things that we use, students? So hand span, then forearm length, leg span, or you can say foot step. Foot step is there. These are used as a measuring unit of length. Okay. But these are not the standard unit. It is not a standard unit for measuring length. Okay, standard unit for measuring length, since it varies from place to place. Since it varies from place to place, So we will say that it is not a standard unit for measuring anything. Okay, so we should use a unit which is fixed, which do not changes from place to place, and that is why there is a need of a standard unit. Okay, we need a unit which is we need a unit which is fixed and do not changes, fixed and do not changes from place to place. Okay, which is fixed and it do not changes with place to place. Okay, so need of standard unit of measurement. So there is a need of a standard unit of measurement. Like suppose student, if we say that we have said that meter is what? It is a standard unit. So if you will say that between 2 points the length between them is 20 meters, so it will remain the same, the value will be same, even or the unit that we are going to use here, it will remain same whether you are using at a one place or at the other place. Okay, so we can say that the length in meter does not changes with the person to person, with the person to person, as well as with the country to country, you can say. Okay, with the country to country. So since it remains same country to country, so meter is considered to be a standard unit of measurement. Okay, so we will say that meter is what? It is a standard. Since it does not changes the value, it remain fixed. Okay, now before we go further and try to understand the next topic, let us see that every measurement, if you look at every measurement, there are two units are present. The first unit is the number itself and second unit is the unit in which you have measured that number. Okay, so we can say that every measurement is consisting of every measurement is consisting of two units. It is consisting of two units. That is, the first one is the first part is the number. The first part of the measurement is number. The measurement is a number. So number, it can be anything, student. It can be 1, 2, 3, 5, minimum. Okay, which tells us the magnitude of the measurement. Okay, so the first part is the measurement of the measurement is the number, and since it is a number, it is explaining about the magnitude of the measurement. Okay, so if you look, then it is what? It is the magnitude of the measurement. The second one, the second part of the measurement is the name of the unit of measurement. Okay, so the second part is the name of the unit of measurement. Second part is the name of the unit of measurement. Okay, so it can be anything. It can be a meter, it can be a centimeter. Okay, so we can say consisting of a two part. Now we can understand this with the help of example. If suppose we will say that 50 meter. What is that? It is the length between or it is the length of a table. Okay, so from one point to another point of the length, the space between that of the length is a 50 meter. So 50 is what? It is the first number, first part of the measurement, which explains, which tells about the magnitude of the measurement. Okay, so this is the first part. The second part is the meter. So meter is what? It is the explaining about the name of the unit of measurement, by which name you are using. Okay.